Hello again, everyone. It's Vince Farr from TradeWinds.com, and this is our update for July 25th, 2016. Let's take a quick look at today's markets. Well, pretty quiet day overall. I mean, the Dow was down 77 points, which is certainly different than what we've seen recently. But what we have here is a consolidation pattern. And what does it really mean? Well, it's a period of indecisiveness. A lot of indecision here, a bit of a tug of war happening between buyers and sellers. And question is, how do you trade it? What do you do with it? Well, what you can do is just treat it like any other channel, mark the high and the low range, and wait for a close one way, either above the high or below the low. But more importantly, you need to wait for follow through, So let's highlight this. If we look at the Dow here and we look at this period here, we box it up here. And once we get a close either above the top end of that channel or a close below the low end of it, wherever that bar ends up, we wait for follow through. In other words, if we get a close below the low here, we wait for a trade on the next candle that goes below that absolute low of that candle. And if it breaks above the high here and closes above the high, we wait for follow through, meaning we wait for a trade above the absolute high of that bar that closes outside that high range of the channel. Okay, and then of course, for an indication of how far this market will run, once it breaks out, well, just measure the length of that channel, and typically it's about the same distance where you will get a move. So if you get a break to the upside, you'll see a move more or less about the same range. Okay, so it'll be interesting. Now, typically you do see this after a sharp move higher on a chart, and then you get a period of consolidation before either a pullback or a continuation of that trend. What's interesting here is the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq really isn't consolidating as much as the Dow, the S&P, and even the Russell. I mean, certainly we've seen some small range bars here, and we've started to flatten out up here in the last couple of days, but this has certainly been moving a lot better than the other equity indices. Okay, so we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Bonds here, very small range day, finished the day lower by 10 cents. Gold was down about 8.5 points here, but still hanging on here. I mean, momentum has flattened out, but it's still holding on to this level here. Not too worried about gold at all. Really, I think we can expect gold to be fairly quiet up until or moving into the Fed announcement this Wednesday. Then we possibly see a move from there. And crude just looks like a falling knife to me. I mean, look at that sharp momentum lower, and we're just seeing, lower highs, and lower lows here throughout. It is approaching an area of some support right in here. If you look to the left, right here, there's here and here and here. So this will be its next key test, but certainly the way it looks right now, it'll most likely blow right through that and go much lower. So remember, do not look at a short here until we get some sort of a pullback. It's always smarter to wait for that pullback and then take that precise entry point once that retracement is over, and it looks like that trend will continue. For now, it is strictly a falling knife. Don't catch it, or you will feel some pain, that's for sure. But we'll continue to monitor that. That's about it for now. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you on our next update.